Fred Wooler, The Doomsday Book of Mammoth Pike. I had no idea that this book would be so legendary later down the years. When I was a child, I saw a pike take a duck off the surface of the lake. A fully grown mallard was just taken in one swoop, and that duck never came back up. Here's what it says on the back of the book. For millions of anglers, there is no fish that grips the imagination more than the pike. Their leisure time is dominated by their desire to catch a really big one. The result of an untiring 15-year quest by the author, this extraordinary book gives a detailed report in words and pictures of the largest pike caught over the past 250 years. Fred Wooler wrote hundreds of letters, met scores of people and travelled thousands of miles in what is undoubtedly the most remarkable piece of research ever in the history of angling. Incredibly, he has tracked down and documented 230 mammoth pike weighing 35 pounds or more, caught in Britain and the rest of Europe, in North America and even in Russia. He details the weight of the fish, the date it was caught, the method by which it was caught, the location, and the marvellous stories that surround each angler and his fish. The book includes photographs of almost every location in which a mammoth pike was caught, and contemporary prints showing the pike themselves and their captors. This beautifully written and entertaining book will be essential reading for every pike fisherman and will fire their enthusiasm of anglers everywhere. A lock mask netted pike. This is just one of the short tales of the fish and how they were caught. These two huge pike were netted from Loch Mask by the Inland Fishery Trust in 1963. The smaller of the two pike, held up by Mr. McVeigh, one of the Trust's superintendents, weighed 39 pounds. The larger pike weighed 48 pounds. This is such a good book. You flick through, anyone who's obsessed with pike or has an interest, this will make you want to go out and hunt down a mammoth pike of your own. And here is Fred Wooler himself holding his biggest pike, which being 32 pounds didn't actually make it into the book itself. You had to catch a 35 pounder to make it into this book. Let me read you this piece. This, my largest pike, weighed 32 pounds. It had a girth of 23.5 inches. I caught it on a red and silver Atlantic Salmo spoon while fishing on the River Owl with my friend Ned Minahan in Comeo on the 25th of October 1977. If only this pike had weighed the expected weight for a pike that measures 47.25 inches, it would have exceeded the minimum qualifying weight for an entry into this book, 35 pounds. Tomorrow perhaps I shall catch one 50 inches long that will be as fat as a pig. Thank goodness for tomorrow, that quintessential day which generates optimism for all anglers. In ancient Greece, they already knew what went on in an angler's mind, or at least Theocritus did when he wrote, "In sleep, dogs dream of hunting bears, and of large-sized fish dream I." Here's maps of Ireland, UK and Scotland, showing the places where the pike were caught. And you go a couple more pages And this is where the big pike list starts. At the top, number 1, the weight of the pike, 92 pounds. Location, the River Shannon. Country was Ireland. 92 pounds, that is crazy. And the method, it was lifted out. That's strange. Unless it was just found or if it was grounded, I'm not quite sure. Tell you what, let me go to the page and I'll find out exactly what happened. So here it is, the biggest pike in the book, weight 92 pounds, on the River Shannon Island, the Marquis pike. Let me read you some. About 17 years since, when visiting the late Marquis of Clanricarde at Port Manor Castle, 2 gentlemen brought to the Marquis an immense pike, which they had caught on the River Shannon, on the banks of which they had been taking their evening walk. Attracted by a noise and splashing of the water, they discovered in a little creek a number of perch driven on shore, and a fish which, in pursuit of them, had so entangled himself on the ground as to have a great part of his body exposed and out of the water. They attacked him with an oar, poor pike, that by accident lay on the bank, and they killed him. Never having seen any fish of this species so large, they judged it worth the observation of the Marquis, who, equally surprised at its magnitude, had it weighed, and to our astonishment it exceeded the balance of 92 pounds. Its length was such that when they carried across the oar by 2 gentlemen, who were neither of them short, the head and the tail touched the ground. If any of you are interested in pike, then this is the book, this is the one. I'm sure there is actually a follow-up to this book. There's another book called More Mammoth Pike, which I want to get my hands on, but not managed to yet. But yeah, it's fascinating. The way they used to catch pike in the old days. Some were with a rod, but some of these pike were actually shot. And there's one which was pitchforked as well. So it's, yeah, in those days the pike weren't looked after as they are nowadays. And I think that's the demise of the pike, or the species that were these extra large pike. Lots were killed. I'm sure these older pictures, that pike, I imagine, was killed. It's a trophy. I'm not sure. Lots of them were probably stuffed or embalmed or whatever they do with them and put in a cabinet on show, which is quite sad. Hope you enjoy this video. I just had to share this book with you. I'm not sure if many younger anglers have even heard of this book, but it's a classic. Such a good read. Anybody who is interested in big pike, this is essential reading, guys. If you can hunt a book down, this is a nice picture at the back, look. The last illustration in the book was drawn by Lord Invery for the book that was never written.